This will be the most normal formatted JMiles video that I've done in quite some time. From changes that are going to be occurring in the game very soon, big names leaving and quitting the game, drama from esports organizations, and more. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as always. We're definitely going to hit 95,000 before the end of the month, so thank you guys so much for that support. Also, I decided not to give away the Wraith Heirloom Prestige skin just because I don't really want to give money to EA, so I've changed the giveaway to $160. So if you guys want to win, just make sure you've liked, make sure you've commented, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I will pick a winner before the event ends. That way, if you really want to buy the Wraith Heirloom skin, you can go for it, but I'd rather just give you PayPal money. So firstly, I wanted to share some sad news. You guys may have heard of this already, but a big leaker, a big data miner, someone who has shared a lot of crazy information in times past with this game crowd, Rindo, made this viral post yesterday, over 6,700 likes, saying that he's quitting Apex, he's quitting Twitter, quitting the internet. Saul Matchin did the same thing not long ago, quitting Apex, quitting competitive, quitting, you know, his streaming and YouTube stuff. So it's really sad to see, but with the state of the game right now, I can't say I 100% blame them. Rindo made a great point in his message saying that when you do this for a job, it can kind of take the fun out of it quite a bit. So when you go through really dry spouts like this for Apex, it can be tough. But regardless, you always hate to see people leave the community and give up on the game. But I mean, I guess the only other option is to trust and believe in EA. So I mean, you know, pick your poison. In other news, there is some good to look forward to in this game that we can discuss today. We do know that there are some changes right around the corner that are going to be happening in this game, one of which I'm pretty excited for. I think this is a great change. I think it's a great addition. I think it's something that this game has needed. So I don't know how long you guys have been playing this game, but if you can compare it today to what it used to be back in 2019, it's definitely a lot more complicated than it used to be. When the game first released, it was very simple as to how the game worked. All the legends had a passive. They were all in a class. Those classes had, you know, their own passives. And then as time went on, we had legends getting certain health changes that didn't apply to the other classes. And then we had certain classes that now got Pathfinder's passive. So now Pathfinder doesn't have a passive. It happened to someone else as well. And then it just kind of got really complicated as to what was going on, and the legends didn't really seem to all fit in this one category. I've been saying for quite some time Apex needs to make an overhaul on that system, and they need to redesign it. I just think it would be good to reallocate the categories that legends are placed into, and maybe we can clean this stuff up a little bit rather than saying, you know, Gibby's in this class, but he also has this little bit of a health change, so just remember that. And Wraith, because she has a tiny hitbox, her health is a little bit different as well. It's just, you know, it was all too much, and I definitely understand why they did it at the time. But when you look back and you're 4 years in, you can kind of see everything's a little mumbo jumbo. So we don't know the entirety. We've always known that there's new class changes coming. We've also heard that the reason they did not want to make a Seer nerf is because there will be some type of a change towards Seer later that he couldn't talk about quite yet. That was coming from the lead game designer, I think Devin McGuire. And regardless, my point is that all signs point towards the fact that that feature seems to be coming very, very soon. How soon, you may ask? My guess would be season 16. However, it seems like it could come in the middle of this season at January 10th during the 15.1 update. However, that's not the only thing that can come this soon. We know that the Winter Tide Collection event will end in a couple of weeks from now. Once it ends, I think we'll go 2 weeks of a dry period, and then we will actually jump back into a brand new collection event that's going to be called Snow Beast. I'm pretty sure that this is where the Seer Heirloom will be sold, so it'll be back to a melee weapon rather than a Wraith Heirloom Prestige type skin. This should be more along the lines of a collection event that we're used to, and something that we know, and something that we probably could appreciate even more. Now, also in this collection event, there should be, word on the street is, a brand new LTM, which is a hardcore mode. If you guys have never played hardcore back in Call of Duty, it was never my cup of tea. However, it would be something along the lines of not having a HUD. It'll only be white shields. Loot will be harder to find. I'm not sure if the damage is going to be raised or increased at all, because if you guys remember in Call of Duty, it was like a 2-shot kill, sometimes a 1-shot kill with a lot of things, but maybe that's just why they're keeping you on white shields. But finally, it'll be a brand new mode that we've never played before, so I'm pretty excited to have something new. And like I said, this mode would be coming in the 15.1 patch at January 10th, I believe, which is this new Snow Beast collection event, which also is with the Seer Heirloom. But one of the changes that seems like they're going to be made, and I don't know when exactly this is going to come into fruition, but I just really don't know how I feel about this change, and you guys are going to have to let me know what you think in a comment section below. But it seems that according to these legend classes, it could possibly be the fact that the blue ones that we see on the map that usually have the extra supplies for Lifeline, and I don't know if any other legends have that. Maybe it's just Lifeline, I can't remember. Anyhow, you'll know that you can loot the normal supply bin, but then at the bottom there'd be a rack for Lifeline to loot some extra heals and whatnot. Well, it seems like it could actually be that Lifeline will be the only one that can open the blue supply bin whatsoever, like at all. And then also those smart loot bins that we saw leaked forever ago, where it kind of like accustoms to your loadout. So if you have a, you know, 301, it'll try to drop you a light mag. It'll try to just give you practical stuff that you already need. It seems like those could be coming along at the same time of that. Now, before you say, oh, that's crazy, that's new, we've actually seen a little bit of a trial run, a little bit of test with this in the IMC armories over on Storm Stormpoint, whenever you would finish the IMC challenges, you would open the bin that has your name on it, and it would give you stuff and items that were basically smart loot bins. They were giving you things that you would need for your weapon kit. So I would imagine it to work similar to that. So all of these changes that seem to be happening in this next collection event very soon, I'm pretty excited about. It is kind of weird that we're getting 2 collection events in a season, and I guess I understand why now that this collection event kind of sucked, but I still feel like Winter Express got just really wasted this season. I mean, we only get it once a year. You could have made some really good changes to it and had this event still popping off big time, but regardless, they did not decide to take that route. And I never thought I would say this, but at least things should be looking up and seem to be getting better after the Christmas event. I mean, normally the Christmas event is the saving grace of the game, but it just didn't happen this year. And speaking of some saving grace, this company right here is definitely going to need some saving grace because they've just been called out by multiple news outlets. AYM Esports or AIM Esports, they were in the ALGS World Championship last year, year 2 at LAN. They're also, I think, still currently competing right now. But even Jake Lucky picked up this story saying Apex Legends Pro has now called out his former org, AYM or AIM Esports, for withholding 1 month's pay and expenses from him and another player. This org is founded by apparently a footballer at Man City, and even his Watson saying welcome to the Apex Pro scene. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of players are being misused, mistreated, and I think this comes from the fact that Apex just has too many pro players, in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of people that are pro and they're competing against the biggest organizations, but you just really can't fund that many people in the scene, at least in my opinion. And I know with this specific organization, there's probably just literally no excuse. This guy probably has the money to be paying these guys, and I'm not saying that's the excuse, but just in general, there's a lot of like smaller organizations that are abusing some of the pro players. And I think when you're comparing it to a lot of the other games, you have like franchises, or you have like established 12 teams or so that are like actually, you know, the pros. So you've roughly got 48 pros, maybe 60 at max when you consider substitutes. But in Apex, you probably got like maybe 120 plus pros on the North America servers. Then you got maybe 120 plus pros in the EU servers, and then so on. But Battle Royale being so inconsistent, you could have a team that, you know, deserves to be paid well because they're up there with the pros and they're competing very heavily with the top pros. And then the next tournament they play, they don't do nearly as good. And then someone else that was lower is now up there with the top pros. So you got so many people that seem to be top pros, but are they really top pros? In my personal opinion, Apex Legends Battle Royale is a casual game mode that was forced to be competitive because Battle Royale brings so much money and so many viewers and even so many players. But because it's a Battle Royale, it will always have fundamental issues with the esports, and you'll never be able to find a really good balanced rank system. I don't think you just can't get any more balanced than having a team go head to head with another team with preset classes of whatever guns that they want to use. When you're forcing 60 high tier player to drop on the map and RNG with their loot, it's just really inconsistent. And don't get me wrong, there obviously are some outliers, but I just think if you took away Imperial How and a couple other of the big names like Sweet Dreams or so, this esports scene would not be as poppin' as you think. So don't get me wrong, I'm not justifying people not paying their players, and especially with this guy playing for Man City, I know he's got the money. All I'm saying is that I'm not surprised to see issues of players being taken advantage of in the Apex Legends Pro scene when you have way too many pro teams, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys are thinking about everything down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. It's Vibe or Die, only positivity, and until the next time, later, Gators.